So welcome to the infrared level. If you have just found that you are here, this video is for you. And on the one hand, you could be thinking, I'm not very happy about being infrared. But on the other hand, you could also be quite excited about the fact that there are some very specific steps to take you out of it. So first of all, what is infrared? Infrared is the first of the 9 levels of spectrum, and it's the one in which if you're in it, regardless of whether you're a multimillionaire already as far as your assets go, or whether you've just lost your job, you are going into more and more debt every month because you're spending more than you're earning. And this is your own personal flow as opposed to any investment or business. So how did you get here? Well, first of all, some people get here because, just like I said, they lost their job and they had a certain level of spending which was based on their salary. Don't have their salary anymore. Some people get here because they actually were quite good at managing the money when they were budgeting and when they were just getting started, but now they've got distracted by their business, they've got all sorts of properties they've invested in, and they forgot somewhere along the line to be measuring their own flow. It's like they're priming the pump, but they've actually forgotten to go the other side to see if anything's coming out the tap. And so as a result, they are asset rich and they're cash poor. Or the third way is that you just never knew. I mean, you were told that maybe if you invested in certain ways, it would be about capital appreciation. You didn't realize that if you just made sure you were positive every month, just that one bit positive every month, then you're bound to become more successful just from how you reinvest, whether or not you IPO your business or go out and make your millions. But if you actually start having that simple strategy, which is even the fastest race car driver in the world, if he has one bad lap where he's sitting it out, he can have perfect laps the rest of it, he's still going to lose the race. If you have that consistency all the way through, you're going to move out of it. So let's have a look at that. Number one, how do you move out of it? And where would you move to? You can't move down, by the way, because if you're already at a point where you are infrared, you're already going negative. But you can move up. And without going to all the levels above, just one step above is survivor, which is red level, which means you're making just enough money to get by. Now, why would it be important to get to that? This doesn't sound very motivating. I mean, you might be the kind of person already who wants to just go and make it big quick, but you can't because you're now being told just take one step up. Well, this is a little bit like saying, I don't want you to get onto my sailboat to be part of my crew unless you can swim. And you go, I don't plan to swim. I'm going to be staying on the boat. It's like, it doesn't matter. If you become a liability to our team or to our group, if things go wrong or if it takes us another month than we expected, then we don't want you to be here. And certainly someone who's infrared is always worrying about the next day. So as a result, getting to survivor means everything. It means that now you've bought your time. You can take 1 month to 5 months to do the same thing and it wouldn't make any difference to you. Now survivor is about just getting by, and to get to there, it takes 3 things. So first of all, before I go through the 3, let me go through the 3 things to make sure you stay at infrared, because you're probably doing those already. The first one is do it yourself. So if you're at the moment thinking, I've got to figure this out for myself, you're already doing the wrong thing. Chances are, by watching this, you're not asking that at all because you're already looking for advice from others. So number 1, don't do it yourself if you want to get out. The second step is blame it on others. And that, again, for some people, it's like, I don't whine, I don't like blaming other people for things. But if you're finding that you're saying the reason I'm where I'm at is because of the economy, I can't change it. It's because my customers don't want to buy more. It's because my accountant hasn't worked out the numbers right for me. It's because my last boss basically fired me when he shouldn't have. If you are blaming someone somewhere, it's avoiding yourself taking responsibility. And you have the power to change it if it starts by you saying, I'm going to take responsibility for this. And the third one, which is kind of one of the most interesting ones, is pick a fight. If you want to stay at infrared, pick a fight, which means put all your energy towards something where you can actually make a stand, where you have an identity based on what you're not. Where you say, right, I'm going to now make a stand against my government. I'm going to make a stand against that company that's doing so bad. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to fight poverty. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to tell people they should be a vegetarian. I'm going to basically use the energy I have to show people that I have value in myself by what I'm willing to fight for, as opposed to start not from the outside in, but from the inside out. Which is, okay, well, don't worry about any of those things. You can actually make a bigger difference getting into the inside of something, having the power to make that difference and then make the change if you really care about it. But certainly don't go out there to use this as a way for you to distract yourself from actually just quietly getting on with getting back into positive again. There's 3 things that will make you stay there for sure. So catch yourself when you do them. 3 things to move you up. Number 1, measure your money. Doesn't matter if you are interested in losing weight. It doesn't matter if you want to go and win the Olympics. It starts by having a measure of where you're at and where you need to be. Same with your money. Doesn't mean you have to do it yourself. Depending on your profile, there might be different ways to do it. So it's very important with your profile and with the test results you'll get once you've actually read through your infrared test results, you'll see how you do it naturally well for yourself. So number 1, measure your money. If you do that and you know what steps it takes to just get to 0, number 2 is commit to conduct. Commit to conduct is, I mean, this is almost like joining the army, where the first thing they do is to say, right, do you have the right character? If you commit to conduct, it means showing up at a particular time. It means being consistent. It means a team can rely on you. The kind of things that if you're on your own or if you're actually panicking or feeling like a victim, which is the title of Infrared, are things that you're going to think aren't even important because no one's even watching. Well, people are watching. The people who depend on you are watching. You yourself are watching yourself. So if you actually, number two, commit to conduct, you set certain base rules, a code of conduct by which you're going to live and manage your life, which may be different from where you are right now today. And now you might think that feels like hard work. Well, not when you get to number three, which is do your duty. Do your duty is not about going out and trying to save the world tomorrow or going out trying to be a millionaire tomorrow. Do your duty tends to happen when, for example, someone who's at Infrared suddenly has a baby and suddenly has to think, geez, I've got someone else relying on me. I'm going to go out there and either get a job or buckle down and find a way to make sure I'm getting positive cash flow. It might be that your parents suddenly are sick and you've got to look after them. So as a result, you think, okay, that's someone I need to now look after. Some of us, we spend more time with a duty to our landlord by paying our rent than we do a duty to our family or to something that's important enough that we know that they're going to suffer as a result of our lack of discipline. Moving out of Infrared is about getting to discipline before getting to passion. But if you follow these three, and what I've done is really given you the what, not the how. If you follow these three by going into more detail about the how, which you'll find within your test results, then I'm very confident that within 3 to 6 months, in the same way that anyone can come into a business that's losing money and turn it around to 3 to 6 months if they do the right thing, focusing at the bottom line, you can be out of Infrared, changing the way you're thinking, and now being on a proper path to wealth where you're on the visible spectrum, starting from red.